I'm also going to check some other things. Look at this door here. This goes into a little storage area, okay? And I know somebody years ago replaced all these doors. Why do I know that? Because when you close this door here, and it closes like that, look up here. See how far this top dive bombs that way? It should be flush. And down here at the bottom, look how the door, this door edge is almost flush with the outside edge of the trim, and it's supposed to be flush with the door jamb. See, like that. It goes way out here and then it goes way in there. And more than likely, what I'm gonna have to do, I'm gonna just set you up here just for a minute. I'm gonna remove the door stop on the top and bottom, and then I'm gonna have to check this. And this door, probably when they installed it, maybe it was warped, and they thought, let's just go ahead and push the door stop over. So I'm holding my foot down at the bottom, and see, it's got some flex a little bit, which tells me I should be able to push in the bottom further. And if I move this door stop out, I'm going to be able to flex it. I may have to push hard on this door to get it closed, but I'm going to do a happy medium. I don't want it sticking in as far at the top, and I don't want it sticking out as far at the bottom. You know, I never know what I'm going to show next. I wasn't even thinking about showing you this, but see, I've got the door stop off. I got the top one off and swiveled. See the last nail's right there, and it's underneath here. I don't want to jerk it and split it or anything, because I don't want to take this side off, because this side doesn't need to come off, because that's all nice and flush. But you see this door. Let's see if I can't show you. It's sticking out. Okay, I've got this out. Now I can close this wherever, but as I'm clicking that, I know the middle is flush. This side's still sticking way in, and the bottom is still sticking way out. Okay, even though the middle's flush, that tells me the door is warped. And maybe when they got it, they thought, screw it. We're just gonna go ahead and move the door stop over. Come on, get going. We don't have all day. Nail it. And so I'm putting my foot on the bottom of the door, and I'm gonna pull out and see how far. See, I can almost get that flush by having it flush, because I got my foot on it down at the bottom. And it's just about right. And so what I'm going to do is, when I put the door stop back on, I'm going to put the door stop on exactly where I think it needs to go for a brand new door install, let's say, okay? And I'm just going to tack it. I may just put one nail up at the top, one down at the bottom, and as I pulled that off, I was able to save the little nails. I may not even use any of my four penny finish nails that I got at the store. And see, I scraped it all off. And to get the door stop off, you don't want too flexible of a putty knife. This one's nice and stiff, and it's got all worn, but I use this as a pry bar. And this one's really stiff, and I use that to get it started. And then I just use my little crowbar. This is to get roof shingles off, like asphalt shingles. You can set it there and pry on that a little bit. You can pry on the other side, and I just use that. I mean, that's all you have to do. And then I use my flexible putty knife. It's just an old crummy one, and then I scraped off most of the caulking. Okay, the backside wasn't even caulked, because they didn't even do it, because I thought, oh, nobody's going to look in here. It's just a little storage area anyways. Well, guess what? When I get done, I'm going to caulk mine. And I'm not ready to put the trim, the casing or the door stop back on yet, see, I've got the door stop. I just brought it out here in the garage, and see, I've got a few nails that's stuck on here, and the other one's just pulled out of the back. Well, you don't want to take, I'm showing you this because you don't want to take a hammer and think, oh, I'll just kind of tap these back out. I'll put it on a block of wood and tap these out. Then you're gonna break this and splinter the wood here because these nails are set. Okay, so I've got two nails. I've got two nails there and one up there, and I'm just gonna take my cutters. These are my electrical cutters, okay? And I'm just gonna pull it from the back side, okay? That's all I'm gonna do, like that, and just pull it out. See, I can reuse that nail if I wanted. And so I'll just do the same thing here. Okay, just pull it out. Like that. Okay, then before I get ready to put this back up there, when you take it off and it's been caulked, you'll see little edges, you know, like that need to come off. See this whole bit right in there, and so I'll just take my my sheetrock knife. And I thought I would do this out in the garage just to keep the mess to a minimum inside. Oh, this is the side here. And I'm just gonna kind of take off a little bit. If a little bit of wood comes off, I don't really care about that, but I don't want to take too much of the wood off, because once I put that back on, I'm gonna caulk it again anyways, okay? So I'm just gonna spend just hardly any time on this whatsoever, because I'm gonna reuse it. That's why I didn't want to just rip it off. See how this is? It's a spline joint every so often, and they just use scraps of wood. Oh, there's not that many on this one. Is that the only one? Oh, there's another one. There's another one right there. Sometimes they're every 8 or 9 inches. It just kind of depends. Okay, that's about all I'm gonna do. Let me just check this out a little bit more. I see another little spot right there. See, I'm digging in too far, so then I'm going to go back that way and kind of get that piece off. And then when I caulk it, that's not going to show up at all, is it? Okay. And here's another little bit right there. Okay. This piece of doorstop is ready to be put back on. But before I do that, obviously I'm going to measure, and then I'll tack it up there. And I'm not going to set the nails. I'm only going to put a couple nails. I might put one at the top, one at the bottom. And then try the door. And if I think I need to tap one side or the other, I brought a block of wood with me. Just a little 2x4 block, and then I can kind of tap on the side of it. I don't want to do it with a hammer, because then I'm going to kind of indent the wood, you know what I mean? And so I'll get it where I think it needs to be, and then I'll check it out and kind of tack a few different places, check the door out a little bit before I put the rest of the nails in, set the nails, and you get just a little nail set. See, like this, and then that sets the nails. Sometimes these come in 3 packs, and you got 3 different sizes, or you can get them individually. And it's designed, it's got a little nib on the outside to kind of hang on to the nail. But these are so old, some of them are smooth, and sometimes I just have to be real careful to use the nail sets, and I might have to use the next size up or whatever. And then I'll get it, okay? So that's what I'm gonna do for this door. And And when I get this retacked up there, I'll show you what it looks like. Okay, one step at a time. Yeah, if your doors are like this, generally, like I say, most of the time you're not going to get doors like this. But if you happen to notice one of your doors is sticking out, maybe you can fix it the same way. And here's the other thing: when I rebend this door, and we get a little heat in this condo, with it kind of flexing. You can flex doors because these are hollow core doors, and then once I close the door, maybe after a while it might have a memory. You might be able to break that memory from before, and you might be able to kind of lessen the bow, but the door strike plate is going to hold it. Do you see what I'm saying? And like I said, I'm going to check it, and if I put the door stop exactly for a brand new door install, and I try it, and it feels just a little bit too hard to do, then I can adjust it. Maybe I can tap the top in just a hair, not as much as it was before. Before it was like 5/16 at the top, pushing in, and it's about 5/16 or so sticking out. Maybe I lessen it. Maybe I make it only 1/8 of an inch or 1/16 of an inch sticking out and 1/16 of an inch sticking in. You see what I'm saying? And I can adjust the stop after I tack it up there. And I just take my little block of wood, and anytime I get little pieces of wood when I cut it off a 2x4 or something, I save that. I can use that to set on the floor and drill something else and use it just like a staging platform, or I can use it as a hammer, and I'm just gonna set it, I'll just set it on the stop like that, tap, 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 because I'm only gonna have a nail at the top and the bottom, maybe 4 or 5 inches down from the top, 4 or 5 inches from the bottom. I can set it up there, just one tap, couple taps, get on the inside, tap it, whatever. So I'm gonna work on that, and I'll show you my progress in a minute. Yes, as I go, I'm gonna go ahead and clean up all my shavings and stuff, because I don't want to track these all over the place. This was already cleaned before we moved in here, and if I leave this little bit, then I walk around, and then pretty soon the next door, the next door, the next door, I got junk all over the place. And so I'm just going to spend just a few minutes getting myself situated and cleaned up, and I've cleaned up out in the garage, and I'm ready for my next step.